Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this episode of Earth's Mightiest Comics, where we talk about comics, a lot of them, from 1961 to present day, Marvel Comics specifically. Yeah, we're here, we're doing this again. This is episode 5. I'm Arden, as always, and as always with me also is Sebastian. He's here.
Hello.
Anything happen this week?
Nothing new.
My cousin just got married yesterday.
Hey.
So I was up there. Shout out to you guys if you happen to be listening, which you're probably not, but that's okay. Yeah, that's about all I've been doing. Just reading more comics.
Yeah.
Even more comics. So many comics. Yeah, let's just move into this here. We're starting off with a Fantastic Four issue, 11 to be precise. The second story here called The Impossible Man. So, we start this, there's this alien dude who's named The Impossible Man.
Well, he doesn't have a name, technically.
That's true. Because they don't need names. They know each other.
They know who they are.
He's from this planet called Pop-Up.
Pop-Up, yeah.
And so he lands on Earth. He's like, dude, I'm hungry. I want some food.
So he goes to some hobos and asks them for food.
Right, and they're like, come on, man. We can't give you food. You gotta get some cash to go get some food. He's like, what's cash? So he goes, and he accidentally robs a bank because he just wants to take the cash.
He doesn't know Earth customs.
Right, he's not from Earth. So he gets some food, and so the Fantastic Four get called by the police because they're like, I don't know what the hell is going on with this guy. He's like shape-shifting. He's turning into like sheet metal. He's kind of just, he's outfoxing these guys pretty hard. So the Impossible Man, he's basically like, I'm an alien.
Obviously.
Yeah. He's like, hey, I'm on vacation from Pop-Up because Pop-Up is really dangerous.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I just want a nice vacation, so I came here to Earth. And he can kind of shapeshift into anything. He's kind of like a Skrull, but he looks like a weird green rocket.
Yeah.
So the Fantastic Four are like, yo, this dude, he's arrogant. I don't know what's going on here. But we're going to take him out. So they attack him, but it doesn't go too well. He just gets away super easily. And then he turns himself into like a buzzsaw, right?
Yeah, an asbestos buzzsaw.
Yeah, to try and take out Johnny.
Yeah, and then he like buzzsaws through the wall. Like all the civilians, he's like, why didn't you guys shapeshift? I could have killed you guys. And he's like, wait, you guys can't shapeshift.
And he's like, this is going to be so much fun!
Yeah.
And so he steals this taxi, and there's a big car chase. Ben kind of breaks the fourth wall here. He's like, you don't get to be in a comic book superhero by doing nothing. So Ben manages to stop the car. They all fight again. Johnny kind of makes some
flaming hypnotic circle. He like flies in a circle basically to make like swirls to hypnotize
like concentric circles.
The Impossible Man. And does that work?
It makes him pass out.
It does, right? It kind of works.
Although it's unsure if he's just faking it.
Yeah, that's what I couldn't tell if he was faking it or if it actually worked or not.
So the Fantastic Four, they go over to check to see if he's okay. And then Impossible Man's like, I knew it! You guys do like me! I'm gonna stay here forever! And recommend it to my tourist bureau at Pop-Up.
Yeah.
So, but Reed is like, he just wants attention, so let's just not give him any.
Yeah.
He's like, just ignore him, everybody. And so Impossible Man, he goes around, he like crashes a helicopter in front of some police.
Yeah.
And they're just not, they're like, this is pretty simple day here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he gets really bored, and he's like, I'm going to leave Earth.
So he just leaves.
Yep. And he's like, I'm never telling Pop-Up about this place. It's too boring for me. And that's pretty much it.
So they thwarted the Impossible Man.
Yeah. He's kind of like Mr. Mxyzptlk from DC. He's got a really weird...
Never heard of that
He's kind of like a weird... He's a Superman villain.
Okay.
And he's kind of just a weird prankster. Yeah, it's spelled Mr. Mxyzptlk, and I have no idea how to pronounce that.
That's a name.
Yeah. So he's kind of like that guy, I suppose. I haven't really read too much of his stuff, but... This is a weird one.
Yeah.
It's a really weird one.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny.
It was,
I just settled on 3.
I give it 3.
Yeah. I think that's it.
It wasn't bad enough to, like, be a 2, but it wasn't good enough to be a 4 for me.
Right.
I was just like, I'm in between on this one, so I just gave it a 3. Just
Yeah.
the middle.
Yeah, it exists. It's a thing. All right, so then we're going to hop into the first half of this story, Fantastic Four 11A, called A Visit with the Fantastic Four.
Ugh.
Do you have much to say about this? I have, nothing to say almost.
No, I did not enjoy this.
Basically, the Fantastic Four read fan mail, and that's, the entire issue.
Yeah, Sue has, a midlife crisis about her powers, saying
Oh, man.
because fan mail said she's useless.
Yeah, but then Reed is, they compare her to Abraham Lincoln's mother.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that.
They're like, yeah, well, I mean, technically she wasn't that important to all of his policy stuff, but he couldn't have done it without her because she took care of him and everything.
Yeah.
Which is not any less sexist than not using her at all. So.
Oh man.
And I guess they end it with a birthday party for Sue.
Sue.
I don't really know how to rate this one.
Yeah, I said 2, maybe 1. I didn't.
Yeah, I gave it 2, but there's no story.
No.
It's nothing. So
No, it's really it's just there to be there. It's completely useless, honestly.
yeah, I think this is the only time that really happens. But yeah, it's kind of there is a little bit of backstory. I guess this is the first time we learned that Reed and Ben went to college together, and they also were in the military together.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Reed and Sue lived across the road of each other or something.
I didn't catch that. This is just
They were neighbors, I guess.
Yeah, this is a weird one. Nothing really to say here.
No.
It's just, it exists.
Yeah, that's kind of... Yeah.
Moving on to Tales to Astonish.
Number 40.
Number 40. The day...
that Ant-Man failed.
Oh, boy. Let me see. This one actually wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
So, it starts out, and there's this truck company. It's a shipping company, I think.
Yeah, armored truck company.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically, a lot of their trucks are getting hijacked,
Mm-hmm.
and the guards have no idea what happened.
No clue. They're left in a daze afterwards.
Right.
That's what I think they used to explain it.
Yeah. So Hank is all right, let's figure out what's going on here.
Yeah.
So
he goes to talk to the owner of the armored truck company.
Mm-hmm.
And he's all right, I want you to, put the word out that you're going to do a big, move tomorrow.
Right.
To try and trap the hijackers.
Right. It's kind of using it as bait so that the hijacker will come and Hank will be there and then they'll just be able to take him out. However, the owner also has some weird, Inca statues. And Hank is that's interesting. And that's... immediately right there, I was okay, I know what's happening here.
Yeah. There's no way he'd physically point it out and you'd not be able to tell.
Right. So, but then they're getting ready for the moving. It's not a whole bunch of money in the truck, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then Hank gets appendicitis. He's I can't do this. I'm sick. You guys are going to have to do this alone.
Yeah.
And so the hijacker comes. He steals the truck. There's a weird part where they see the truck blocking the road. And then just starts backing up, and it opens up. Did they just sit there while the truck was backing up the entire time?
I guess so. I don't know. It was the way the truck was facing, and then the way it opened just didn't work.
Yeah.
It didn't, no.
So the hijacker gets it, but then it's revealed that, surprise, surprise, Hank was actually faking his illness.
Yeah.
And he was actually there as well, because he took a tiny jet plane.
That he made.
I
thought he... No, it isn't said yet that his aunt's gonna fly.
There's no way that all of the very complicated controls that go into flying would be able to fit into a plane that small.
Hey, man, if he has the shrinking gas, he can
shrink it. That's fair. That's a fair point.
He can shrink it.
That's a fair point. I thought it said he built it. I'm not sure if that's true.
If he built it, he could have shrunk the parts too. Who knows?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Anyway, he fights the hijacker. He wins. I think does he gas him? Is that all he does? I don't really remember.
He ripped off his gas mask, and the dude's he gassed himself, basically.
Right. Because Hank had made a gas mask at the beginning or something. that was like see-through.
It was a oh god, what was the like molecule thing?
Unstable
molecules.
Yeah.
He made it out of that so like it could shrink on anybody's face.
For those of you who are unaware, unstable molecules are basically what everybody's uniform is made up of in the Marvel universe. Everybody. Basically, they let you do whatever. You can shrink. It's why Johnny's clothes don't light on fire. It's why Reed's can stretch. It's why Sue's turns invisible.
Yes, it's very apparently there's a lot of it.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't think there should be that many.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, the villain is the owner of the truck company. And the police all take him up. I wrote down 3. I'm gonna roll that back. I'm gonna drop it to 2.
Okay. Yeah,
It's not terrible.
It's not the worst, but it's not the best story.
Again, it's the third time where this twist is the person who hired you is the villain.
That seems to be the recurring theme for Ant-Man.
Yeah, it didn't work the first 2 times. It actually works better this time than it did the other 2. But this one was more obvious because they like pointed it out at the very beginning.
Yeah, I would say the way it seemed less obvious was the one where it was the woman and the scientist.
Yeah, I didn't catch that one. Right.
Yeah, but
yeah, that's the end of that one. 2 stars from me.
I gave it 2.
Okay,
I gave it 2.
Fair enough.
So.
And then the next one, Strange Tales 106. This is a Human Torch one. Strange Tales 106. The threat of the Torrid Twosome. So we start with this dude who looks very French, but does not speak with a French accent. He's wearing like a beret.
Has a very French mustache.
Yeah, and he's the world's greatest acrobat.
Yep.
So he comes to visit Johnny. This scene is hilarious. He's sitting there and he's telling Johnny everything. We'll get to what he says in a minute. But as he's saying, like, what he wants from Johnny, he just, like, is keep doing acrobatic poses.
Yeah, and it's so
and he'll
weird.
just interrupt himself, and he'll be like, yeah, I want you to come and join up with me. And he's like, watch this handstand.
It's like, why? Okay.
Like, it's hilarious, but I don't understand him. Oh, yeah, here's the point where we reveal that Johnny doesn't actually have a secret identity, and everyone knows that he's the Human Torch. Finally, at least, because I was getting annoyed with all the him trying to switch his secret identities, because he's never had one. This guy, I think his name is Carl Zante. I know his last name is Zante. I don't remember his first name though.
Yeah, I have no clue.
He's basically saying what I've been saying all along. Reed Richards is an asshole.
Yeah.
He's like, he keeps all the money, all the glory for himself.
They don't give you anything.
Right.
He was like, dump them, join me, we'll become the Torrid Twosome.
Right. We're gonna do all this stuff together.
Yeah, we'll fight crime.
Right. So
Johnny just goes over to Reed and Ben. Sue wasn't there, I don't think. But basically Reed was like, yeah, I can't give you a salary because all the money has to go to science funding.
Right. Yeah, no salary. And then Torch is like, well, Zante was right. Fuck all of you guys. I'm gonna go join the Torrid Twosome.
Yep.
And he like makes a new outfit, which just looks awful.
Out of the unstable molecules again.
Yeah. And
they're in abundance. I don't know where they get them, but
it's also like French themed as well. It looks
like Backtrack the Leaper. I don't know.
Yeah. Batrocc's comic costume is way weirder than the one that he makes here. Like, he's orange, he has like a purple like Hawkeye mask. So Johnny goes and he goes over with Zante.
Yeah.
But Zante is the villain. If you hadn't figured it out,
it's clearly he's thinking to himself, like we haven't said it, but he's like throughout this entire thing, he's thinking to himself like, I'm gonna trick him and stuff, so it's revealed very early on.
Right.
Zante is the villain.
Weird thing here. The title is The Threat of the Torrid Twosome, but Johnny is part of the Torrid Twosome?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what's going on there. But, yeah, so Zante gets Torch to accidentally help him rob this bank. Mm-hmm. Basically, he's like, yo, there's a dude stuck in there.
We need to break him out.
Right. Burn through the vault door, and we'll get him out.
Simple.
He burns through the vault door, and then Zante just shoots him.
With an asbestos water gun. Or is it just... No,
it's just a gun, I think.
No, at first it was to kill his flame.
Okay. Oh, right.
With water, and then he shoots him.
But he tries to finish him off, but the gun jams, so he's not able to do it. So he tries to escape. He's in the car.
But the other Fantastic Four are there to help.
They are there. So they're kind of like all holding the car down,
Yeah.
even though you really only need Ben to do that.
Yeah, it's really...
They all attack, and Johnny comes out, and he's like, no, I got this. I know I currently have a bullet in my arm, but I can do this perfectly fine.
Which I don't know why he can't set it ablaze. Honestly. Like, even if the bullet's in your arm, like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, but even if he did, he'd still be wounded. Like,
yeah, it'd still
accept
be wounded.
some help from your teammates.
Like, he'd still be wounded. I just don't understand why he can't flame on.
Because he's probably an idiot.
It's just... So, they basically have a fight.
Right. Zante kind of tries to escape.
Yeah, Torch. First, Zante tries to escape from a ladder. Torch, like, makes the ladder really hot to the point where he can't grab it.
Right.
Zante jumps off onto electrical wires and does, like, an acrobatic thing onto the wires.
Right.
And then I think Torch makes a lasso out of fire.
Probably.
After Zante landed back on the ground, and he melted the cement under him, and Zante got stuck in the tar thing.
Again, Johnny is not the Green Lantern. He should not be able to just make flaming whatever. Also, like, I know Johnny said not to help, but he has a bullet in his arm, and the Fantastic Four they're like, yeah, he has to do this himself. No, he doesn't. Just go help him.
Just go help him.
Like, seriously. Especially, like, at least Sue you would think would do it, because they're siblings.
Even if he gets butthurt afterwards, he'll get over it.
Right. He's an idiot teenager. It's a phase of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Zante gets captured. Johnny rejoins the FF. He's like, I was faking it the whole time. I knew it was fake. No, he did not. He did not. He absolutely did not.
So he definitely didn't, but I feel like he was on to Zante. He definitely thought it was suspicious, I feel like.
There were thought bubbles, Sebastian, where he was thinking to himself, there was nobody else around. He was thinking to himself, this is great. We're going to go fight crime. He even has like a little fantasy where they're fighting crime together. Yeah. He was not onto him at all. He was lying through his teeth.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's the end. I gave this 2 stars, but I don't agree with that anymore.
What, like 1 star now?
I think I'm dropping it to 1, yeah.
Dude, really?
Yeah. Actually, no. Okay, I'm going to keep it at 2 purely because of the scene in the beginning where Zante is talking to Torch and he's like, watch this cartwheel. Because I think it's hilarious. I'm going to keep it at 2 for that.
3. I actually quite enjoyed
You put it at 3?
Yeah,
okay.
I kind of enjoyed this Human Torch one. I don't know.
Out of the 2 Human Torches we have this week, this was by far my least favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Shoot.
Oh, boy. All right.
Oh, man.
Well, speaking of the other Human Torch story, let's just get right into it, because it's the next one. Yeah. Strange Tales 107. The Master of Flame versus the Monarch of the Sea. It had to happen. It's Johnny versus Namor.
Yeah.
So essentially, we start out, and the Fantastic Four, they're not taking Johnny seriously. Yeah. Rightly so, because he's an idiot.
They mentioned the thing that happened last month with the Torch twosome, and yada yada, goes on from there.
Right. So Johnny's like, I just want to fight a villain myself, and then they'll take me seriously.
Yeah.
And so he goes into Sue's room, and her photo of Namor is still there, but it's evolved. It's like a full shrine now to Namor.
I don't understand.
It's on like an altar, and there's like flowers everywhere around it.
I don't understand her obsession with Namor.
Yeah, Although, in fairness, Reed is a really big dick, I think, later on in this batch of stuff. So, he's probably maybe a better option sometimes. But also, okay, before we really get into this, I'm just going to say right out, the Human Torch is the villain in this story.
Oh, definitely.
Namor is not the villain.
No,
he's the hero in this one.
Human Torch is definitely the villain in this one.
So, Johnny goes looking for Namor. He falls in the ocean.
His flame dies out, and he falls in the ocean. No, I think he landed on a ship first.
Yeah, we'll come back to the flame thing, because there's some real big inconsistencies with how it works here.
Real big inconsistencies.
Yeah, he lands on a ship, and
he tries to convince the crew. They were like, whoa, we got a stowaway. He's like, no, I'm the Human Torch. I'm just waiting for my flame to come back so I can fly out of here.
Right.
Nobody believes him for some reason, even though he's wearing the suit and everything.
In fair, they bring up, they're like, you should buy that at a costume place anywhere. But also, he doesn't have a secret identity, as we've established last issue.
Yeah.
So.
But, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, they put him to work, basically, on the ship.
He's like washing the deck, he's mopping up everything.
Yeah.
And then they go into like some fog.
It eventually turns to night, and they are going to fog, and I guess their lights don't work because they can't see anything. So Johnny, he flames on. He puts a couple fireballs around the ship. Boom, they can see.
Right, and they're like, "Oh man, he is the Human Torch."
Yeah.
So then he finds a place. He just stops somewhere over the ocean. He has no reason to believe that Namor is right there, but he just happens to be right there.
Yeah, so he writes a message close to the water to heat up the water.
Right.
So Namor gets the message. Namor sees it. He comes up. He's like, "Get out of here."
Well, I think what happened, I don't think he saw the message. I think what happened is the fish jumped out.
Yeah, the fish got burned, and he noticed the burned fish.
Right.
And then he went up and was like, "Yay."
Right. So, but Namor's like, "I don't want to fight you, just leave."
Yeah,
like,
I love your sister too much.
Right. But Johnny's like, "No man, we gotta fight. And then he does something that's dumb.
Yeah.
And they fight. The rest of this issue is mostly a fight.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into like every blow here, but there are a few beats I want to hit from this fight. First of all, Namor uses the power of a blowfish.
A blowfish, yep.
He
expands himself because he's about to crash into like some snow.
An
iceberg thing. So he expands himself, and then after he crashes, he like shrinks himself back down so he can easily slip through the giant hole his expanded body made.
Right. So that happens. I think that's dumb. I don't know why they keep giving him all the powers of the fish.
I don't know why if he just became like bloated like that, why he wouldn't just bounce off instead of just crash
that's true.
straight through.
Yeah.
That was my thing about it. I was like, why?
Right.
That?
So Namor then hypnotizes Johnny at one point. I don't remember how.
I honestly don't remember how.
Yeah. But it does happen, and he sends him away on a dolphin.
Wrapped in seaweed.
Right. But Johnny escapes the dolphin. He goes back to the fight.
Yeah.
And then Namor turns into an electric eel and shocks Johnny or something.
And they both crash into the ocean.
Right. This is where we have big inconsistencies with the flame here. Johnny got tired out and couldn't use his flame after like a few hours of flying around the ocean.
Yeah.
Now he's in the ocean, and he's still able to flame on.
So basically what he does is he makes his body heat really high so the water doesn't like stick to him as fast.
It says the water has not saturated me.
Yeah.
You cannot saturate a human being with water. That's not possible.
And so he basically just flames on in the middle of the ocean and just flies right out.
Right.
Like no problem.
And then he goes Nova.
He goes as hot as an exploding star or sun.
Right. Supernova kind of heat.
And he just dives into the ocean, and the water, he's so hot that the water around him is just evaporating in an instant.
If he was just in water, though, he shouldn't have enough flame to go Nova. Like...
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, he chases Namor into like a underwater cave, I think.
Well, he just chases him kind of down to the bottom of the ocean, and then he causes like an underwater cave-in somehow. Yeah, and then Johnny gets back to the surface, and he's rescued by the boat that he saved earlier.
Yep.
And then Namor escapes to the cave-in.
The cave-in, and...
I think that's it.
That's it. Namor was just like... Or he makes the comment that if they became allies, they'd be like the greatest duo in the world. Water and Fire, Unstoppable, or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually kind of like this one. I gave it a 3.
I gave this one a 2.
Explain yourself here.
Dude, I think the Tortusen was honestly way better. Like, the story...
Really? Come on, man. Zante was a terrible villain.
Okay, he was an awful villain, but the story made way more sense. Like, Namor in this one was kind of just dumb. Like, a lot of it... Okay,
see, I think Namor was the only sensible person here.
So we knew about the electric eel type thing.
Yeah. I still think that's stupid.
It's dumb. But the pufferfish thing, like, that shouldn't be possible.
I keep thinking every time I see him use fish powers that it's the last time, and it's not the last time anytime.
Not.
So I'm done saying that. It might happen a ton more than I think.
Like, that's so dumb. And then the way he escaped the cave. Like, come on.
Didn't he? Yeah, wasn't it? He turned into like a human drill.
He made himself into a human drill. And he beat the rocks through willpower. He was literally like, I'm so tired, but I have to keep on going, otherwise I'll never escape.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Namor's kind of a badass.
I mean, I like Namor, but it's just like, a lot of this stuff didn't make sense at all. Like, it was so dumb.
Yeah.
Just, oof.
I don't know.
Out there, and it's just.
I think it was a good battle issue. I think it was
a good battle.
Purely on and because the battle was pretty much the entire issue, it's a 3-star battle for me definitely. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's a 3-star issue.
Okay.
Okay, we're halfway through end of part 1. I forgot to do this last week, and I might forget next week. We do this sometimes, we don't do it other times. Basically, don't count on it ever, because we don't know what's happening. If you're here and you're wondering, where was the stuff from the title? I didn't see any Iron Man or crossovers in this. Never fear, on Friday, part 2 is coming out, and the very next issue will be a crossover. So just, the title is not completely wrong clickbait. It's just something that's going to happen in a few days. So
it's in the next part.
Yeah, so, look forward to seeing you on Friday, and everybody have a good 3 days.